that if it is work or just normal movement and other things interfered with your schedule of activities, among other things. You're a parent, so there could be presence of a spouse, so intimacy could be affected. But largely, how was it trying to come to terms that I have this condition and these are the interferences that it is running in my life?
Okay. Like I said, the first diagnosis, the condition or the diagnosis sprung up on me. But before the diagnosis, yes, it's true. It interfered a lot with my day-to-day life. Mm-hmm. Like I would not, like on those days, especially the beginning of your menses, I'd stay away from work. I was also in school at the time. I'd stay away from school. Simply because you don't want to embarrass yourself, because there's absolutely nothing. I came to the conclusion there was nothing I could do to avoid embarrassing myself. In fact, there are instances when you think you're fine. You could even be traveling for long distances, and then what I was told is that sometimes when you're having very huge fibroids, it's like the brain is registering you're pregnant. So it has this supply of blood to that area, such that you could be fine 1 minute, you're traveling long distance, and then the minute you get up, you cannot stop the flow. And those were the days now I would choose then to avoid the embarrassment. I just stay put in the house until I manage that situation, and then when I can see it has reduced, I come out and enjoy my presence amongst everybody else. Yeah. So yeah, those, to me, that was the main factor, because so that means, and then sometimes it will also be prolonged. Meaning when most people have their menses for 3 to 5 days. Mine would run on for almost even 2 weeks, 3 weeks, yeah. Which also meant that I became anemic. You become anemic, and you have to now factor supplementing your deficiency with either food or supplements. So there were those issues that really bothered me, and but at the same time, as you're having to deal with that, you now have to also factor in that you either continue with that circumstance, or the other alternative is surgery. Yeah.
Rhoda, I mean, just as you talk about it, there is the aspect where you're dealing not only with the situation in terms of, you are unwell, there is your social life is affected. There is your family at that point as well, and one would hope that they would come through and hold your hand. But then again, it is also not guaranteed that when it happens, they would be there. So how does this affect your mental space, if it did? And how then was the support from family, friends, help you deal with the problem? And when they were not there, how was it?
Okay, I think yes, a good chunk of my situation was dealt with by family and friends. When I'm home, they understand. I think at the time when I was first diagnosed, I had very small children, and at one point they thought, when one of those days when I had an accident, when they were pretty young, they thought we're losing our mother, that kind of situation. But at least you have the support of friends and family to just step in and just kind of handle the situation and just try and minimize the urgency of what you're going through. Other than that, there was also the I always say I especially with my second diagnosis, I was very fearful of and there was a lot of anxiety about because then the only alternative that was being posed to me now was the hysterectomy, that is the removal of the fibroids and the uterus, and that caused a lot of anxiety for me, and I'd say I was very anxious, and obviously there's a level of sadness, because you're thinking. I think at that time I was like, I'm not young anymore. If I go in for surgery, you're wondering, will I come out? And obviously I'm not coming back out intact. There's a part of you that's being taken that is meant to be part of your it's meant to be part of